Okay, Bettina, lovely to have you here. Thank you for your time to
Pleasure, great to be here.
Be part of the Fashion Africa Voices series. Really appreciate you've done so much great things. I think it's going to be a really great conversation. So thank you so much. So I do have a list of questions I'd love to ask you to hear about your time in both Kenya and Ghana, and just how you present your amazing work with your Instagram page. So let's talk about it. Could you tell us a bit about your actual history and your background, how you get into arts and textiles, and yeah, tell me a bit about that.
Okay, how I worked as a fashion buyer in Australia for an incredible group of boutiques there, buying sort of high-end artisanal designers, mostly from Australia and New Zealand. And that was really kind of my first intro into, when was that? Year 2000. So almost 20 years ago. And that was really that changed my life. And I worked with the founder of the Husk stores, Justin Abrahams. He had a really clear vision about what he wanted to do and, the work that he wanted to sort of showcase. And so that was really the start for me, working in fashion as a buyer. And yeah, I mean, I absolutely loved it. And it kind of gave me, I also did all the creative direction and styling for all the campaigns that we did there. And I was studying fashion design in a Bachelor of Arts in Fashion.
Oh, you did? You did it?
Yeah, at the same time. So that sort of brought everything together, really, and that's where my life changed. I was just like, oh, fashion, I just sort of was like, this is what I want to do. This is, the handiwork and the sort of artisan crafted, and also to the audience. It's like people that really appreciate it, and we were lucky enough, I suppose, to have an audience who had the money to support it as well,
That helps.
That helps, yeah. So that was the beginning.
So did that start the love for African crafts then?
Not so much. No, I actually used mud cloth in my end of year of first year at fashion school. I used mud cloth. I came across mud cloth in this gallery and I was like, oh my God, what's this? So yeah, actually it did. And I was just like, oh my God, this cloth's amazing. I've got to use it. And so I used it in my final garments. But it was London really that it's where I kind of discovered Africa, really.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How was that connect? How did that connect? London to Africa.
I was working I started working in vintage clothing then, so I went from sort of designers into vintage, which has given me, a really great understanding of the structure of clothing and the make, because the make of 1940s jackets and 1920s dress, is just unbelievable, and the knowledge that goes into the understanding of the clothes.
Totally.
And so I worked in vintage clothing, and then I started doing markets myself to earn a little bit extra on the side. And London is expensive, as everyone knows. And I met this lovely gentleman who I started going out with, who was a dealer of African artifacts. He was from Cameroon.
Okay.
And and then we started working together, and I started sort of selling all these incredible pieces, and that's where I was just like, oh wow, okay, here we go, like this is the next step.
The love for the craft began. That's wonderful. Wow. Via London, from Australia via London to Africa. So tell us then about, so you've been working the last probably year and a bit firstly in Kenya, and now you've moved to Ghana. So tell us about what you've been doing in both Kenya and Ghana.
So I'll start with I'll start with Ghana, where I am now, just because it's sort of I'm amongst it. I'm working in artisan product development. So I work here alongside the weavers and the founder, Gregory McCarthy, and the team to develop new products, which is amazing. Like, the community here is absolutely incredible. There's over 250 artisan weavers.
Wow. And that's Babatree we're talking about right now.
Yeah, that's the Babatree in Bolgatanga in Ghana, which is a very kind of remote outpost at the top of Ghana, where nothing much sort of happens outside of baskets. Like, but it's all about baskets, really. Bolga, it's a huge community of artisans, and the skills are like nothing I've ever seen before. Like, the skills are just extraordinary. Yeah, there's really, I feel very, very lucky to be here. So I do development. I also manage all the collaborations with hoteliers, interior designers, and brands with purpose, that we collaborate with. And that sort of part of the business is growing at like faster than we can kind of cope with. Which is amazing, and it's great for me because I'm sort of in contact and communication with people from all over the world, and so that's really exciting. And then I also manage all the social media as well. Okay.
So you do all the social media for them as well as your own company. That's a lot to manage. How do you do that?
It is a lot to manage. It's probably one of the most time consuming, especially for Babatree. Like, I'm been focusing more on their social media currently than my own. It's time consuming, and I'm not one to kind of plan it out in a big map for the month. We kind of so I'm just on it daily. I suppose I do construct storylines, and I like everything to be tonal and matching, and I mean, I put a lot of effort in, and we're reaping the rewards of that. Like, we've grown, I think, 10,000 followers since I've been here. That's maybe 5 months. Yeah.
Wow.
And
it's your style though, because even with your own page, that's why I want to talk a little bit about, we'll come back to your work in Kenya as well in a bit, and we'll talk about that. But even with your own social platform, one thing I found is that you just have an eye for it. You're a stylist, you're a creative, you're a curator, you're a designer, you're a buyer. You know how to put things together and you know your audience. Maybe is there any tips you have in regards to those who want to build their Instagram?
Yes, I think you've just got to really tell your own story. Like, I think I've always been aware that my style has been pretty unique, and a lot of the times, in the past, I haven't got the job because maybe my style was too bold or too graphic, or not to the taste of everyone. But I've always just been really true to my own individual style, and I think that's really important because there's so much out there that's so watered down and so the same as everything else, and in the end people it's just it can become really boring. I think especially in the world of fashion or interiors, it's like, okay, this is the trend, and then everyone follows the trend, and then everything's exactly the same. So I think be true to yourself, carve out your own kind of identity, and I think it's great to be influenced by people but I think just to make it your own. Like, and I think with Babatree Baskets, that's what we really tried to do. It's like, it is like the energy here is bold, it's colourful, it's fun, it's electric, and we really want to convey that kind of energy through our posts and through the styling and through the colour and through the products. And I think, the right people are really taking notice. So that feels good.
because look, they now
Yeah,
got
yeah,
40,000 followers,
yeah.
and people just go to Babatree Baskets. It's amazing. Just I mean, they were outstanding anyway, but your little touch has obviously brought a new angle. And then even with your own,
We're
there's
a good team. We're a good team. I
okay,
think it's like, that's important as well, isn't it? Like the
yeah.
support network.
And even on your own, you've got 10,000 followers on your own, and um, you've always been kind of curating imagery, and they're very magazine-like, or they're very real. They're very just natural. So, what is the story that you want to tell when it
I think
comes
I'm
to?
a wannabe magazine editor from way back.
Okay, now we get it. Now we get it.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
that's
your
it,
own
isn't it? I
magazine.
think I always, when I was little, I wanted to be magazine. So it's like, oh, Instagram's a magazine, isn't it? That's what
Yeah,
someone said to me, and I believe that. It's like Instagram is your own magazine, really, isn't it?
very
It's
true.
like, if you want to tell stories, and I think as well, like with Instagram, stories are really important. I think that generates, a really good amount of traffic, and but what was I going to say? Oh, I've forgotten. Sorry.
No
Um,
worries.
I just got interrupted.
I mean, it is very magazine-like. It is about. I mean, it's the stories that you, like I said, is you have to know your own stories and the stories that you want to tell, and that's literally
Yeah.
what you're doing.
And I think collaboration is key. Like,
Yes.
and just put the word out there, like message people, or, like showcase the work of people that you like, and obviously always tag them. But I think collaboration is key to success as well, because if you find someone that you can work with, then you're stronger together. Like you're stronger with someone else, and then you're talking to a different audience, and you're growing kind of you're growing organically through what you do. I think that's important. I think, yeah, collaboration is key for sure.
It definitely is. So what do
Yeah.
you think? So, I mean, your work is focused mostly on artisans, creative, and now mostly Africa, I guess. And what do you think is drawing people to brands like Babatree Baskets and BB and Me, who you worked with in Kenya, and the whole story of the baskets and the hand weaving and art? And what do you think is really drawing people? It's become so popular of late?
Yeah, I think it's like baskets are the new ceramics, aren't they? I think, it's sort of been I just think, but with baskets, it's made by hands. I think in this, day and age, it's just so important. And I think having an understanding of, of who made something, and the process behind the product, and the person behind the product, I think that's such an important story to tell, especially when you're working with, in Africa, and in this day and age of sort of, buy less, choose well, make it last, and everything that's sort of going wrong with the fashion industry, to be able to connect with someone that's actually made your clothes, and that's been celebrated for not only for their skills, but for being, a human being, and to be a part of a community that celebrates that, and to give back and to make change. Like, that's one of the most important things for me here, is that we're actually making change for people's lives, you know what I mean? And that feels really good. It's not just about something being absolutely, fantastic and looking great. I'm thinking back to my old fashioned career. It was all, it was just sort of like,
very different.
Actually, there's people behind it, and they're being celebrated, and I think that's really amazing.
Because I think with Babbit, or you can explain, with Babatree and with BB and Me, the weavers they work with, the artisans, they are like community. They work in the community for themselves. They don't that they or are they employees of those companies?
So, well, the weavers here, I mean, they work for themselves, but they work for the Babatrees. It's sort of like I suppose a freelance weaver, I suppose you could call it. And we have weavers that work on the compound, and then there's also weavers that work from home.
Okay, yeah.
And it just depends on their situation. Like a lot of our weavers are farmers as well, so there's harvesting.
Okay.
They have young families, so it's not that they can, you know, that they can always make it. It's not. I mean, we work 6 days a week. It's a big week, and it's, you know, so but we start the day like it's not just really basket weaving that happens here. There's a whole team behind the scenes that, you know, package everything to go away.
Oh yeah.
That, you know, package everything to be sent all around the world. I mean, there's 250 weavers on the compound, so we have to manage the site. We're building composting toilets. We're growing plants.
Wow,
you know,
look at that.
it's kind of
It's a big machine.
it goes beyond weaving. You know, it really does.
That's amazing. How long would it take?
And then for
the time wise, sorry.
Say that again. Sorry.
How long would it take for a weaver to make one of the bags or the hats or the baskets?
I was going to show you. Can I flip the camera around?
Please do.
Okay, so I've got a beautiful basket right there. Have I? A beautiful basket in front of me. This one, you can see the size of it.
Gorgeous.
That's just been finished today. There's a normal size little like handheld basket.
Those little ones are so cute.
This is part of a new collection I've been working on, which I'm really excited about actually, called Stay Flow.
Yeah, the bags ones. I've been seeing those. They're so cute. I love the look at it. It's like a piece of architecture.
Yeah, they're so beautiful.
Wow.
So something this size can take I think that took Charity 2.5 to 3 weeks.
Wow, that was one person making that.
That's one person. Yeah, so they would all the weavers. They you know, it's they would not let anyone else weave their basket. It's purely, and you know, that's something that they're very proud of, is their own kind of signature, and we call it, it's sort of like a rhythm and flow. Yeah, so I've got a few more. I was just gonna. This is my desk.
Show some more. Let us see. Bring us in.
These are some new hats that we've been working on.
Yep, I've been seeing those on the page as well. Love it. Love it.
Page. This is a new style that we're working on with a little calico natural rope kind of drawstring situation.
Nice.
Wait a minute. I'll turn it. Sorry, Jackie.
Go for it. No worries.
There
you go.
Yeah, so development, it's sort of happening all the time. It's a long process, as you know, and it's fraught with difficulty and weather and harvesting and
because it's mostly done outside. They work outside mostly.
Say that again.
They work outside.
Here?
Yeah, like not inside. They work physically out of the building.
Yeah, no, within our compound, they're all like they're not in a room. They're kind of out like on the verandas and outside. Yeah. And then when we go to like Gambibigo, which is the local village, you know, most of they'll be sitting outside under the trees. You know, I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful setting. But mostly they sit outside. Yeah. It's too hot sometimes. It's too hot inside. It's not hot at the moment, but it's hot here. Wow. Yeah.
So all the materials are locally sourced. That's the beauty of it.
The elephant grass that we use is not actually, contrary to popular belief, it's not here. It's not from Bulga. It's actually from a town that's about 7 hours away called Kumasi. That's where...
Oh, they get it from Kumasi, okay.
Yeah, so we, you know, in the future, Babatree Baskets might look to grow and harvest their own elephant grass, you know, so that we can have an understanding of exactly, you know, where everything comes from. But typically we have women, they come, they bring the grass, the elephant grass or the straw here, and you know, particular weavers will only buy from certain sellers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, it's generally bought here, and then the rolling of it all, like the rolling and the preparation of straw is huge. It takes so much time. It's a really time-consuming process.
It's amazing. I look forward to the next trip to Ghana. Have to come out there,
Yes, you have
absolutely,
to
and plan
come.
that in. Absolutely need to plan that one in. So we will do that more in advance, absolutely. So your time at BB and me, it was similar products, similar. Well, what was the materials you were using there?
It
Tell
was
us about that.
different there because, I mean, Babatree Baskets have been around for a long time, and Bibi and Me is part of, so it was kind of, So They Can is a charity based out of Sydney and Kenya, and because they're working across education, they had come across so many women with amazing skills, but they didn't really know how to translate those skills into a brand that could then generate income for the women, because it's and everything is given back into the charity and to the women. So I was employed to set that up and to start that.
Awesome.
And to kind of, you know, look at where we could introduce new product lines that, you know, that would suit the Australian market, you know, initially. So yeah, it was quite different. And whereas these guys have been set up here for a long time, and know exactly what they're doing. So yeah, same but different. Yeah.
Okay. You know what I find really important, because with what I'm doing with you right now, this video series, which I'm calling Fashion Africa Voices, is telling the stories of what's been done on the continent in regards to the textile industry. And because you've been living and working in both these countries and with these companies who are selling internationally and working with artisans, there has been a discussion about the importance of documenting what's being done,
Yeah.
documenting skills, documenting products, documenting talents. That's why I started my first book, Fashion Africa, and we're relaunching the next book in 2020, which is so I will be in touch with you guys, absolutely, because of the importance of that. And have you found that through do you find that through what you're doing, it's been an opportunity to document and to preserve what's been done?
Definitely. And I think it's really, you know, important, you know, through, say, the work that you do and the work that I do, to be able to showcase the incredible talent and artistry that's happening here. Because people really don't, you know, have an understanding. Like, I mean, I have to wear blinkers even just coming from my house to work in the morning. It's like, no, don't look over there, because that's something really good. And because I'm working as a buyer or a stylist or a brand consultant, as I'm sort of like constantly, you know, and seeing textiles being made. And, you know, I have a lot of people, you know, sort of going, what's available there? I mean, there's so much beauty and so much extraordinary skill. So yeah, it feels great to be able to represent that and represent the artisans behind it, for sure. Yeah, I think.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of the creatives that you've been working with in both countries or just in Ghana, those photographers or other creators. Tell us about some of those. Let's lift them up as well.
So when I was in Kenya, I did, we're just about to kind of publish it, actually. I did an amazing photo shoot with a team, with a makeup artist actually called Sunita, who goes under the Instagram of Cultured Ego. She's a makeup artist, and we collaborated on an amazing shoot.
Cultured Ego. Let's look her up.
Cultured Ego. Yeah, she's amazing. She's done a lot of work. She's done work with Eden.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's lots of opportunities to shoot. But I was going to say the most exciting collaboration that I've just done has been with Pet Lab. which is the Madrid-based company that work with artisans all over the world, and they use the recycled PET plastic bottles to and local kind of weaving techniques to create these extraordinary lamps. They've just been here. That's been amazing.
Wow.
Lots of exciting ones that I can't actually talk about right now because we're kind of in the prototype kind of sampling process.
Look forward to seeing them come out. Will that be for 2020 then? We'll be able to see more.
That will be 2020 at Salone in Milan for the design fair.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So that's awesome. But I mean, at the moment, I really don't have time for anything else. We're 6 days a week, 8 in the morning till whatever at night. It's pretty, there's not much time.
It's hard work. So this is it, though. This is it. This is the industry. This is the reality. So for those who are thinking about starting, something on the ground in Africa, working with artisans, have you got any tips, advice, or anything you'd like to share?
I think do it. For one, do it. The skills and the talent is extraordinary. I think you need to visit. You definitely need to be here. I think that trying to do anything remotely is it's almost impossible. And I think you need to honor who you collaborate with by I think meeting face to face and spending time and having an understanding of one another, I think, is necessary.
Yes. Relationships. I've been talking about that all week.
Creating relationships, having an understanding face to face. We've got lots of people that want to do work remotely, and over a bunch of emails. I think it's the people that have like the Pet Lamp guys that have come. They've come twice for sort of fortnightly workshops to spend time here and to have a full understanding of the whole process. It's been amazing. It's been, and it's having a really beautiful understanding of one another, I think, is integral to the success of the product and of the relationship. And I think as well, a sustainable relationship is something that, you want to continue with, and it's, so, get on with Jackie's tours and come and visit us.
Yeah, well, if people come, then we'll be adding that on. I'll definitely be coming up to see you guys. I'm going to plan that one in. So yeah, whoever comes, we can add that on. But it's absolutely so. Babatree Baskets is the website .com, and Appetite for Decoration is Bettina. Instagram, because I Facebook Instagram page, but you also have the website. Is the website to mention, or are you?
I've got a website. I've been naughty. I haven't really done, but I'm starting to blog again because I really, like you're saying, I really want to be able to document what I'm doing here and the people that I meet and the stories and everything. So I'm back on the appetitefordecoration.com blog.
Perfect.
And I'll get back to kind of creating little online salons and products in the future as well.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Bettina. This is an important year, the year of return for those who are wanting to explore Ghana and look up.
Shall I give you a little tour?
Oh,
quickly?
yes, please. Go for it. Yeah, I forgot about that.
We're just about to shoot some product for the website. Let me just turn the camera around. So, fans, this is the compound. Juanita!
Hello. Oh, look at these. Oh my days.
Waves. Oh, we'll see some weavers over here. Azuma.
Hello, Mama.
Some weaving.
Oh, look at these. Hello. My, oh my. Hello.
Punker Joe.
These wonderful, wonderful, creative people. Look at this. Wow. So we need to share these stories. Love, love, love.
And then there's more happening out here, you can
Wow.
see.
Look at that.
Lots of weaving. Yeah, so it's a different technique here than Kenya, like baskets hung, which makes sense really. And then because the weaver